when a player pitches an idea, it's better sometimes not to say no. It's yes, kinda. Let's
How can we do that?
Yeah, how
do it,
can
but
we
how?
as opposed to
Yeah.
how not, right?
Yeah.
And that's how you can attract a player like into a role where it's like, you want to play a very powerful woman, but you don't want to. The player is a little anxious in front of crowds. Okay, let's pair you with a player who's got like the oratory skills of man, who's gonna be head of a house, right? Privately, you just tell her, like, you do everything you can to dominate this guy. And you tell the guy, like, this chick has you by the balls, right? And you pair them together, it can allow both of it to happen, right? But again, in a way that's comfortable for the player, which is really what's really important. It's that comfort zone.
You explain the plausibility of power instead of the impossibility of power as soon as power is asked for.
Yeah.
Instead of no, you can't do that, it's like that's an implausible version of power. Here's the plausible version that's similar.
Well, sometimes it's fun to be implausible too. You're the only one like this, and nobody can explain you, but here you are.
And
I mean, that
And
happens.
everybody else, arrange yourselves
talked
around
about-
that impossibility.
Yeah.
What? Well, no, this happened.
Yeah.
Deal with it.
Yeah.
What was the Chinese pirate one? I can't remember her name. She
yeah.
started as a prostitute.
Well, and
She had
going back-
the largest fleet of pirates that we know of in history. A
Yeah.
woman who was a prostitute. That's
And,
power impossibility.
And people would,
It's not power
people
impossibility.
consistently said, even in that period, that this couldn't actually be true, it had to be a myth. When they're sailing down on your ass.
Yeah. There's now 2 leagues behind us right now. Like, and going back to again the strong females that were presented in the presentation too, the pirate Bonnie. If you read her history, she was pregnant and gutting people on her ship. They didn't hang her when they caught her because she was pregnant, and it would be immoral. Then she gave birth and broke out of jail. Like this actually happened, right? I'm a fan of pirate history, that's why I know all this, right?
Pirate LARP.
Well, that's because you're an inspired.
I would too.
The other thing though that you can do is, I think as a game organizer, is you can break the world. I've done this running games in the 50s where I've said, I'm running a game in the 50s, I want female and male players, so it's a gender equal 50s, and if you don't like that, go play somebody else's game. Moving on.
Exactly.
It's a paradigm thing, right?
Yeah.
And I think where you pick your paradigm. If we want to break the world or not, and if we don't want to break the world, how do we?
The problem is too though is sometimes your paradigm is set by your players, right?
Yeah.
If your player base just happens to be all male chauvinist pigs, right? It's going to be a harder sell than that's an unagain problem that the organizers are addressing.
I think it'll actually be even harder yet if you've got a bunch of male chauvinist pigs who don't think that they're male chauvinist pigs.
Yeah, it's true.
Who think that they are, really open-minded and everything, and then you try to run a game that is set in a historical period where they're supposed to be patriarchal, and then they think, oh, I don't know how to be patriarchal.
Yeah, they're telling the religious prostitute they're supposed to make me a sandwich,
Fly casually.
I have one last anecdote about how not to handle this. This is not gender. This is a guy wanting an impossible character. It was an entire game and he wanted to play a Methuselah who had lost all of his powers and was slowly building back up. So not just a ridiculous premise for a character, but not one that was power changing. And the organizers could not change his mind. And so finally they said, absolutely, you may do that. And they told every other player in the game that he was a Malkavian, who was convinced that he was a Methuselah, and it went along famously.
I think that's